I think most of you are ready, and so we will start as we wait for the others to set up the equipment. You're all welcome once again to the headquarters of the National Democratic Congress. We went to the polls yesterday, and since the close of poll, results have been trickling in. Results have been declared at various coalition centers across the country, and we've had the opportunity to address you on 3 occasions about some developments in the ongoing electoral process. It's become imperative that we address you again on very important and serious issues about the ongoing electoral process. And to address us this evening, even before I introduce him, ladies and gentlemen of the media, this is a press conference. And we are live on television. It is a very, very important program. The destiny of this country and many people depends on this encounter. So let us be orderly. Let us be calm during this engagement. Kindly put your mobile phones on silent. Security men at the gates, the doors cannot be opened again. Not for anybody. The doors cannot be opened again. And please don't walk across the cameras. It is very important that we don't do so. And so let's all be decorous, let's all be calm so that we can proceed smoothly. Now at this stage, I will invite to the podium the General Secretary, Chief Executive Officer of the great NDC, the only general in Ghana's politics, Honorable Comrade Johnson Asiedu Nketia, General Mosquito, to address us. Thank you.
Good evening, ladies and gentlemen of the media, and good evening to fellow countrymen. Let me begin by thanking the good people of Ghana for the time spent going out yesterday, defying the weather. I understand in some places there were rains, in other places there was scorching sun, to participate in the very important exercise of determining who the next leaders of our country ought to be. We have decided to speak to the press this evening to update you on what is happening about the outcomes of the general elections. And let me proceed by reminding everybody that there were 2 sets of elections that happened yesterday. There was parliamentary elections to determine, to select 275 members of parliament. And then there was 1 presidential election to select who becomes the next president of the Republic of Ghana. The law provides that the results of the parliamentary elections are declared at the constituency center. So the returning officers at the various constituency centers have the final say in pronouncing who the winners of the various parliamentary seats are. That process has been ongoing. And we wish to report that out of the 275 constituencies, the NDC has won 141. That puts us in a clear majority and will be giving President Mahama the needed majority in Parliament to be able to conduct his business as president. What the clear majority means in parliamentary terms is that the NDC will be selecting the next Speaker of Parliament and the next first Deputy Speaker of Parliament, and will be selecting all chairmen of parliamentary select and standing committees. That gives us absolute control of the House. Ladies and gentlemen, our collation so far indicates that our presidential candidate, President John Dramani Mahama, is ahead, and we are expecting that the Electoral Commission will very soon come out to declare him the next president-elect of the Republic of Ghana. There are, however, some worrying signals that we are picking from the ground. The 141 seats having been declared by the responsible officers of the Commission at the various constituency centers. We would have thought that that would have settled the parliamentary elections in those constituencies. But we are having calls from several constituencies indicating that the New Patriotic Party is demanding for recounting of ballots. In some places, some boxes are emerging, ballot boxes are emerging from nowhere. And in other cases, there are demands that certain pink sheets be added in the recounting or recollation process. Ladies and gentlemen, this reminds us of 2008. It will be recalled that in 2008, when the same presidential candidate, Nana Addo Dankwa Akufo-Addo, was in contention with Professor John Evans Atta-Mills, and the MPP was the incumbent party, it emerged that after all the indications were clear that Nana Addo was losing the elections, then new results started emerging from the fax machines in the strong room, indicating updated figures for some constituencies in Ashanti region. Those, our representatives in the strong room, raised the alarm, and there was a work on the Electoral Commission, which put the process of collation temporarily at bay. Ladies and gentlemen, this singular effort prevented the MPP from rigging the elections on that occasion. That is why we are worried, because two of the conditions in 2008 are still present. The MPP was the incumbent government. Today they are in the incumbent government. Election results have been declared at the various constituency collation centers. In 2008, they were so declared, and there is pressure now. In fact, there was a press conference by MPP in those days that declared Nana Akufo-Addo the winner, and I guess some persons are speaking on behalf of MPP, declaring them winners this time round too. And we are aware of at least one television station even calling the parliamentary elections for MPP. So we want to use this opportunity to warn those media houses who are calling those fake figures without any foundation to stop if they don't want to create problems for this country. Number two, we want to indicate to the headquarters of Electoral Commission that the statements coming from the various returning officers indicating that they are receiving instructions from above to undertake recount of the parliamentary elections must also cease forthwith, because they are illegal instructions. And we are calling on the various returning officers to ignore those instructions from above by way of insisting that the right things be done. There is no law in this country which says that after results from polling stations have been collated by the returning officer in the constituency, the returning officer should listen to any instructions from anywhere, be it the chairperson of Electoral Commission or the President of the Republic. They must proceed to declare the results as are contained from the pink sheets from the polling stations. So we are calling on all Ghanaians to insist that these so-called demands for recounting, recollation, which we are speaking about, must be stopped. In fact, the process of recounting cannot be initiated at the collation center at all. The law is very, very clear. If at the polling station you disagree with any results, you call for a recount at the polling station. And the presiding officer must comply for the first time. If you are not satisfied, you can call for a second recount. If the presiding officer disagrees with you, you can indicate that you want the contents of a particular ballot box to be recounted at the collation center. It is only then and then that a box can be opened at the collation center for recounting. So, if no such move is initiated at the polling station, nobody, and I repeat, nobody, including the constituency returning officer, has no right to open any box for any recounting at the collation center. We know that this recounting is illegal, but if you yield to it, it will be done and the results will be announced, only for you to challenge and they will tell you go to court. So make sure that the recounting does not happen in the first place. And I'm urging all our party foot soldiers to stand up and defend the verdict of the people. Even though we are not by law required to act as the national returning officer for the presidential elections, it must be indicated again that the returning officer does not generate the results. The results are declared at the polling station. And so if you have copies of the results at the polling station, then you can do your addition. The chairperson of Electoral Commission can do their addition as well. And so if there is any controversy, it will be about whose figures were right. But the basic data is available, and it's available at the polling station. And we can we can project that President Mahama is heading towards victory. Because there's a very strong correlation between presidential results and parliamentary results. Everybody knows this. And in fact, that was the claim of MPP at the Supreme Court when we were there. They didn't understand why the presidential results, they claim, differed significantly from the parliamentary results and so on. But these elections indicates a very strong correlation between the presidential results and the parliamentary results. So we are calling, there is another issue that must be addressed. Ladies and gentlemen, you heard the Electoral Commission declaring that they will be announcing the winners of the presidential elections 24 hours after the election. Now the results are collated at the National Collation Center. We used to call it the Strong Room. The name has since changed from Strong Room to National Collation Center. And normally, the results keeps trickling in as and when they are declared on the field. We are worried that, as at now, there are some regional offices where collation has not started at all. When the same commission's returning officers have declared the results in the various constituencies, why is it that the collation has not started? And the Electoral Commission still insists that they will be declaring the final results 2 hours from now. What is happening? Transparency requires that as and when the results trickle in, they are certified and made available to the public so that everybody can follow the trend of the results. We are not going to sit down for the Electoral Commission to compile results in all the so many polling stations throughout the country, and then to announce a bulk figure to the nation when there is no basis of checking and cross-checking. At least by now, we should have gone over more than half of the presidential results, so that even as we wait for those that have not been counted yet, there will be sufficient time for us to be scrutinizing what has been certified. Our officers from the National Collation Center just indicated to us that the results has just started trickling in less than 2 hours ago or so. Less than 1 hour ago. What has been happening between 5 p.m. yesterday and now, such that this competent, quote-unquote, Electoral Commission couldn't have certified results of at least 100 constituencies as far as the presidential elections are concerned. Our officers are in Koforidua now, at the Electoral Commission's offices. But the commission has not started any process of collation at all at the regional level. So what is happening? We want to call on the international community. We want to call on peace-loving Ghanaians, the traditional authorities, to urge the Electoral Commission to do the right thing and to warn the Commission that any false step will come along with serious consequences. So, ladies and gentlemen, I'm done. And to recap, I'm saying that NDC has captured Parliament as we speak now. And because of that, NDC will select the next Speaker of Parliament and the next First Deputy Speaker of Parliament and all the chairmen of parliamentary select and standing committees. I wish also to emphasize that there is pressure from the headquarters of the Commission and the government on the various returning officers who have declared and certified the parliamentary election results according to powers vested in them by law to revise and do recounting, recollation, and so on, which are all illegal. And we want the various citizens who cast the vote to be ready to protect that vote and to make sure that nobody steals their verdict. These things are happening, according to our results reports, in Sehuyo, so as we speak now, in Upper Denchira West, Gomua East, Techimai South, and many other places. I believe that the MPP is in a very uncomfortable situation because whatever they do, it is clear that NDC controls Parliament now. So that is why they are putting pressure on the Commission to try and find ways of manipulating results that have been already declared for our parliamentary candidates. And that is why I'm calling on the electors to rise and protect their vote. I want to thank you, and may God bless our homeland, Ghana. I believe that by tomorrow morning, President John Dramani Mahama would have been declared the elected president of the Republic of Ghana.
Okay, so I would like to find out whether journalists in here have any questions for the General Secretary. If you have any question here, you can raise up your hand. I will call you to identify yourself and your media organization, and then you can ask your question. Please, are there any questions? There are no questions. Okay, then in the absence of any questions, I will once again invite the General Secretary to do a quick summary of his presentation in the Twi language for purposes of account stations hearing gathered. So, General, if you can give us a Twi summary.
Abusuafo yɛfrɛ mo ha awie yi a na yɛfa akwanya yi so ada Ghanafoɔ nyinaa ase sɛ enra obiara sɛ nandagye ɛkɔ polling station ɛkɔto aba kama yan shedante atinkaboni bia na enei the entire person efrem no say edika ye damase the tosu mienu nso obia nim say enra abato na ya abato mienu ye ode ye di yi mrahye badwafo ahanu aduoson num ena de ye di beyi president na abato no kwa awiye no ye nkonta yabu kire se sabre ya ye ne mo kasai de NDC yafa mrahye badwa no the majority ewo mrahye badwa mu na election results no nsunsuanso no de ye de kom mrahye badwa mu no de ye mfa mankran declare e declare no wo constituency capital wo mu declare no ho wia asa enu nti de wo mu declare sa atam ya ye gina ha yi the NDC anya free mu 141 sabre ebi wo ha wo nya declare but says ya de oha aduanan baako enti ekese yatra parliament no fa eba sa efrey majority enti says ya NDC and a new majority in the parliament of the Republic of Ghana na abasai de chere say President Mahama Mamua obekwa akosha ase no already our majority of parliament ya obetimi ede aye na djuma so de nhihye bia fra bai mu ba ebenya NDC MPs na womo aboa no ma ye de aye adjuma ne santi no yebue parliament ya mrahye badwa mu chiame eye speaker of parliament mrano kire se yen NDC for ene ebepa no owabadi akirefo mienu first deputy and second deputy enunti first deputy no nso eye NDC ene ebepa no nso na eno pa ho a committee si ayede ya adwuma ewo parliament ho no eno nso committees no nyina womo etitrafo ebeye nipa NDC ayi womo gise committees mienu pe public accounts committee and Jama committee on government assurances also and constitutional and legal committee uye no free mo a de aka no nyina NDC enti MPP benya pani bi wo ho a ye be frɛ no ranking member na wo mo mpanimfo so a wo mo be wo parliament ho so no ye be frɛ wo mo minority leaders enunti eno de nanka ya hunu ano efise mra no very clear and returning officers nso aye wo mo adwuma kama na ye wo ho na amamfo ahyase efrefre ense constituencies ya declare awie no wo ho na electoral commission for na ka se MPP for aba se wo mo pe recounting enunti ye pese e fa akwanya iso na yetu enuanom MPP for a wo mo ye saa nofo na electoral commission akrachi for a wo mo so eti saa na emanase nofo se mrabia ni ho a ekire se utimi kohye recounting bia ase ewo collation center de ye frɛ no recounting no se ya to abawie ewo polling station na ye hwie agu ho akan awie ye kan wie a na ye kan de wanya na wo polling agent no wonti ase a no aka se da bi me pese ye san kan biem enti de edikan ye be san kan biem ama ye kan eno na wa nti ase a presiding officer bitimi aka se ontimi nkan biem se still a wo de ugidi se ye kan biem a wo twere note e de to so se what request say polling station hono won't results na sentino a drew collation center or requested for recounting enunti mrabia ni wa echere say obia requested for recounting polling station otimi ko drew collation center na yaka results na wie no na obi aba say my request for recounting mumienko biebie na ka so ne enkan enti ba bia NDC for obi a so obi ba sa say oye recounting a munyina mo nan so ehwe say sa adwumadie no ema so ena abato no sunsunsan so yate say ba bi wo ho mo ye wi a ese ye de call region ako declare me pa cha oye declare parliamentary constituency parliamentary election results enye regional capital ni declare no wo collation center ho enunti obi aka so oso anaka ene nkrata e de aba regional level a opekwan abewiamu wa kwantimfi enti mo insist say results e wo ho no obe declare emo bia so ntiase say yakan a declare wa wie no o san akotena ho say o participate in any recounting sabra ene mu kasa yate say bibisa epese ekoso wo tachiman eni baabi bebre ye besremo ebi kura ka che say electoral commission for say pressure from instruction from above yesremo mrano a ye di so o man mu no baabia ni ho a ekire say collation officer or ade figures we are who hear permission from chairperson of electoral commission and answer will be from Accra and san we declare results enunti sa krachi for na wo mo pese wo mo be declare no nipa ya to ya ba wo constituency ho no wo mo insist say wo mo be gina ho na wo mo declare na wo mo ma ho kwan emma nipa baako ukogina wiamu ato aba kromu nyina kogina wiamu ato aba na obi abegina baabi se instruction from above yesi memfamra esunwa yesi memfamra ha na wabedane motumi enkwanta enunti ena ye bo ho kokko na yenim se emra no so nkyere se obi abe declare presidential results apart from chairperson of electoral commission banti asia ese munya ne say electoral commission no on fa presidential results no mfiri soro emesi form every the various polling station bia anso ye declare results no enunti the results are actually declared at the polling station. Enti se electoral commission for declare no ho na wo copies ya o keka ni nyina si animu a wo so timi hu figures ya eko nationally enti ye ka say ye figures ya pick from electoral commission polling stations across the country no kire say President Mahama odi animu a obedi nkunim na the AC ewo parliamentary level no de enye ye ne aye ye ne aka results are pick from electoral commission returning officers ya wo mo declare yankofo no winners already no 141 de yansaka enunti ne ka say control parliament enti no ye hwa animu se electoral commission obe na djuma yie na onkofa kantambia ma ebenam so ama basabasa bia ba omanum na de obibebi sase adenti na yesusu se wo munye wo mo adwuma yi election ayekomu wo oman yi mu no ankanra yeto aba no wieye ebe nonum no ayiriswa be no ngotwa na no nkron na presidential results no ashase eba electoral commission collation center ho na yedeba party representatives nyina wo ho yehwemu wi a na de akoma chairperson no no so certify enti radio stations ni television stations yi bebre wo ho a won betimi akọ electoral commission for ho akọ pick certified presidential election results best 2 or 3 hours after the election. Minuanom menemu gina ha ye kasai yenkofo ekosiri pe ewo electoral commission strong room be don hwiri ba akuni ena afe na first results asha ase a eba enunti ema yetrimu ye na yesusu se electoral commission no abopo bi a opese oboabo results no nyina no no ohunu de ekoro no odi ni nyina beba abebomu se 5 o'clock anumre se results no nie wabra obia nya akwanya encheck se ha wasesan we ya na wasesan we ya na wasesan we enunti saade a omo ye no de enya ade antiase wo mu a ye bepene so efri se anka first constituency presidential results aba no obia hunu na second one aba no obia hunu enti eguso a ye twen de enya mai no na se disagreement bi ya between de ye hunu won kran no ne ba bia ya to aba no wo ho a eno nso obia betime resilience tracy true eba television so obia be hunu say ni aka about time say ni aka about techiman say ni aka about fantiakwa na sa black box wa I say wo de results no nyina ebegum na anwumre nonum na wo aka say wo announce obi winner na obi loser no de e de how beba o manum enu nti ye pese ye ka na ye tu electoral commission for no fo say wo nya de mra no se say wo beye na ye san ka kire o manum panimfo say wo so nsore wo e kan bi ewo mu no wo nsore na wo nkasa enche electoral commission for say enye sa na ye abato enye sa na release abato nsunsanso completely shrouded in obscurity na nyamencha de ya pick your figures from the ground ayenim say President Mahama odi animu ayenim say yanya parliament yawie enunti ye besre say international community for so amutie yen oman mu mpanimfo ye mpebi nkankyere aban any electoral commission say instructions from above no say above no any president you chairperson of electoral commission on kan hunu say we there oni hu to me say oma any such instructions na process no enya adwuma na periperi ye adwuma asundwe ene e betena oman no mu nti e da mu nyina na parliament no abusuafo a mutie en se ewia bebo ifra no pa enna election se beko yi a abanti akonwa so na election beko yi amano a sha ase a ohu se aban ni MP akuku dam a wo mo atete ato no e kira say cabinet ministers fisheries minister afolekwe oda form say brim say wo mo ahohoro nanimu say wa Professor Jambafo a no ye minister for then planning osan so ye MP for Wanchi Buzia birthplace Watiato ene NDC ene ye afa constituency a ewo Buzia Barbara Otinjesi order form George Anda order form Deputy Attorney General also the form Titus Grover or the form Bono Deputy Regional Minister order form. Bono East Regional Minister, order form. Enunti, so be or how Ben and Nakufu Adwa. A country say on save country say, on fat telephone frame Mahama say, Massa, the Adro no de. Apem. Jogate soda form.
Okuboy soda form. Ya boavia somewhere soda form. Omo form the door super. Ladies and gentlemen of the media, the General Secretary of the NDC has spoken. The NDC has spoken. I believe that settles all doubts about results trickling in or results that have trickled in so far relative to the presidential and the parliamentary elections. And so we are counting on all of you, not just those of us in this auditorium, but all of you who are watching us across the country. We are counting on your vigilance. We are counting on your bravery.
Anthony Cabo too is down.
He didn't build a dog meat factory. He's down. And Penka is also down, Deputy Attorney General. Yes. So those who are down are so many. But the key... Please, can we have order so that we wrap up? Yes. The key message General has given to us is for us to remain vigilant and to boldly confront any attempts by those who are determined to steal our verdict or our mandate. And so, comrades in Techiman South, we are counting on you. Our eyes are on you. And the destiny of this country depends on you. Comrades in Gumua East, we are counting on you. Comrades in Ablekuma Central, you've been, fantastic so far, resisting the attempt by the MPP who are working with the Electoral Commission to overturn illegally the results as declared. And more importantly, comrades in Upper Dentra West in the Central Region, we are counting on you. President Mahama is counting on you. Ghana is counting on you. Techimai South, Ghana is counting on you. John Dramani Mahama is counting on you. The NDC is counting on you. Serioso, we are all counting on you. We know that you will not let us down. And so, it is not over until Jim Mensah, the returning officer for the presidential elections, declares John Dramani Mahama as a president-elect. It is not over. Let's remain excited, but at the same time, very vigilant and ensure that we protect the resounding victory that God Almighty has given us in this year's parliamentary and presidential elections. We thank you very much for coming. We will call on you again as and when it becomes necessary to address you. Thank you very much for coming. Yes, Oko boy. DJ, can you increase the song?
Jesus,